outside.
Good morning.
My dogs are outside.
Good morning.
Morning, everybody.
Morning, morning, morning. It's a good day. Got things going this morning. Got things started. Trying to find the chat. Hope everybody's having a good day so far. So good. Morning, Stephen. Stephen says, good morning, all. Hard telling what they're going to talk about today. Yeah, you don't never know.
We don't even know.
That's why it's such a good show, because we never know what we're talking about. You never know. Everybody, it's a surprise. Good morning, Hank. Good morning, Frankie's Finds.
We try for it not to be like dry.
Yeah.
And I don't think it ever is. It's always pretty.
Somebody's usually always talking. Somebody's always, there's usually a story most of the time going on. So that's good. Good morning, Beth. Good morning, Mary.
Oh my gosh.
Mistresses of Merchandising. Oh, I like that. Can everyone?
She's another word stress, huh?
Hank Allen says, can everyone hear them speaking except me?
Refresh.
I can hear everybody just fine.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, refresh. It kind of scared me. I was like, flashback.
We just put you on. We just put you on mute, Hank Allen Cash. Oh. It's only you. No, we wouldn't do that.
What did everybody think about
especially to her
about the show yesterday? The 8-hour show.
I didn't get nothing done. Well, I got 3 listings done, but
I got 20 listings up yesterday.
How many? 20?
20.
Nice.
I did all my pictures before I went to bed last night.
Very good.
So, I mean, not saying that 20 is a lot, but it's a lot for me.
Hey, 20 is that's good.
That's a good number for a day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try for 25 today.
Frankie's Fine says the show was great, got lots done, and got a sale. Love the 8-hour show. Can we have another one today? Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Well, we do have a surprise.
Yeah, we do.
Oh. What's the surprise? I don't even know.
Surprise! Surprise! Are you going to tell him, Sally?
I thought you were going to say it.
I was waiting for you.
Saturday night or Saturday
day, yeah.
From 12 noon to 12 midnight, we're going to have a show.
So the way it's going to work is I'm going to do a show for 6 hours, and then it's going to go to Sally's channel, and we're going to do the show on hers for 6 hours. Because you can only do it for 8 hours on one channel.
Yeah.
So.
At a time.
Yeah. So that's what we got going. I'm usually overzealous, and I'm like, over the top usually, but I asked Sally, do you think I would like to do a 24-hour marathon?
But you know, you gotta sleep sometime.
I know. I hear you.
And miss, I gotta take a nap in the middle of the day. You know, I mean,
That's where we come in.
right.
Work for her while she takes a nap.
But you know, I mean, I'm not saying that you can't do it. You just it's gonna be rough, you know.
Yeah.
But definitely it's something that I'd like to try.
You have to do it on like probably like a Friday or something, so that it doesn't screw up your next day's show.
Well, that's what we're
Well, I
planning on
guess
Saturday, and so everybody can have Sunday to, you know,
Recoup.
recoup from it, you know. Val Truman Show.
What?
Said Val Truman Show. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, that's the thing, you know. There's people that can't, you know, because they work all day and they can't be here, you know, for the live shows. You know, we figured if we started at noon. Now, is this going to be noon your time or noon my time?
probably noon my time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Since we're central.
then
Yeah.
Central is the superior time.
okay, whatever. So so you know, if we start at noon, then, you know, basically yard sales and everything are out of the way, you know, and you can get your yard selling done, go to the thrift store early, and be home in time for the show.
Right.
And, you know, those people that have to work in the morning, you know, they get off at 3 or something, there's still a whole lot more show to go, you know? So I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
On Saturday.
Hank Allen said that Saturday's her birthday.
Oh, yay.
Awesome. Happy birthday.
My daughter's birthday's tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
She'll be hitting the dirty 30.
Yeah, there's a lot of night people, and I think this business, it surrounds being a night person, because people, you know, for so many years they get up early in the morning and go to work, and you know, they're at work all day, and then they come home, go to bed, and do it all over again the next day, you know. But so when they don't have to do that, they're like, I can work and sleep whenever I want. So, you know, they tend to, you know, just kind of lounge throughout the day, and then, you know, and like sleep whenever they want, and that ends up putting you, you know, up at night.
Yeah.
So
Well, and that's kind of, I have always been, go to bed at 10:30 at night when I had my, outside job. But now my schedule is all screwed up. I wake up at 4:35 and up for a while, and then I'll take a nap usually. Yes, I do take naps, and I'm not ashamed to admit that.
I do too.
And then when I wake up, I'm usually up from I'd say around 12:30 to midnight. So I'm usually up from 5 until a nap, and then from then on until I usually go to bed about midnight.
Yeah.
So that's my norm.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No. Whatever works.
And see,
Everybody.
me, like, I can be, I like being awake in the morning. That's just how I am, but I can do that by being a night person also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does it kind of messes you up though, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
As far as your
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah.
Huh.
Silverhair Stacker says had just had a sale to Shop Airlines, a company that buys for Japanese clients. Interesting. I had the same thing, probably 2 weeks ago, maybe. I had the same thing. Where they buy
Really?
for the customer. Uh-huh.
Oh.
What do they
Yep.
do?
They buy items. It's I think it has to be some kind of like a third party thing where like the customer wants an item on eBay, so they go through this Shop Airlines and then they purchase it. I don't really know how it all works, to tell you the truth, but I'm just kind of gathering what I've heard, and so
Hmm.
but it's kind of cool. I mean, different. I don't know um why they would do that, really. The sale was for a vintage wood walking cane. Huh.
Well, I know that some countries they can't get online like we can. They can't go to all the different websites like we can. It's just not permitted by their country.
Right.
So maybe that's
Well,
why.
that makes sense too.
Or
They
they
are
just
yeah,
are very limited on, where you can get internet and stuff like that too.
yeah. Beth
Yeah.
said they're basically freight forwarders.
Yeah, that's what it
Oh.
sounds like.
So they probably make good money doing that, I imagine.
I don't think I've ever sold to them. Where are they located at?
I want to say California.
Oh,
I've
well, then
probably
it's very
sold to freight
possible.
I've sold to freight forwarders before.
Hmm.
Megan says hers was a vintage trucker jacket. Silver Hair Stacker says 33-inch cane is probably too tall for a Japanese. Just saying.
You never know. I've seen some tall Japanese
This is
people.
true. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Huh.
Beth said they have several different accounts. Some in Miami, some in Cali.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I've sold for freight forwarders in Florida.
The
I
Comfortable
haven't
Life
sold for
says I'm glad this channel exists. I've been in the hospital a total of 3 weeks since middle of May to
Oh no.
date, and lots of doctor's appointments and been able to enjoy listing. Well, I hope you're doing okay. I didn't know that you were in the hospital.
Me neither.
Well,
You kept that secret. I hope you're doing okay and that you'll, you know, be okay and get out of there soon, go home.
Yeah. Hope
no.
they find out what's going on with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope you're
Well,
okay.
I'm glad that we can entertain you while you're in the hospital. And I know that sucks. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that we can do that for you.
Yeah.
That's right. Being in the hospital is not a very comfortable life.
No.
I would hate that. I hate even going to the emergency room because I'm afraid they're going to keep me.
Hmm.
I I'm so scared about that sometimes. I'll sit there and cry because I'm just afraid of it. I don't know what I'd have to do if I had to lay in bed all day.
Yeah. Oh. Comfortable Life says they're home now, or he's home now. I'm home now. Yeah, they know what's wrong. Well, that's
I hope they
good.
can fix
You know,
it.
now they can fix it. Yep.
Yeah. That's good.
I know when I was in the hospital for my hysterectomy, it was fun because I was on lots of drugs.
Yes, and you knew it. Almost everybody in the hospital too.
Well, I worked in that hospital,
Yeah.
and so in the evening, I would call them and I would say, I am so messed up right now. That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. But you didn't know what
When I'm
what to do with yourself, I bet.
No, it was,
hospital, I tell everybody not to come visit me because I'm there to heal.
well, that's true in a sense, but
It doesn't
that's
work though.
well, yeah, I mean, because people are going to come and see you whether you like it or not. But, you know, and then like being in the hospital, especially if you're either, you know, young, if you're a baby or a kid, you know, I mean, that's the worst place you can get, you know, bugs. So I completely understand that.
Ain't nothing for a stepper.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either. Tell us what that means, because I don't know what that means, and that's
I
gonna
don't
bug
know.
me. Then I'm gonna go down a hole, go down a rabbit hole.
Oh
It's
God,
gonna
we
be
don't
all
need no
your
rabbit
fault.
holes today.
No, we don't.
We don't need none of those today.
Yeah, I ended up getting 3 sales yesterday and 2 bids on auctions. So
That's awesome. 12 steps. Oh, gotcha.
No, I don't think that's, is that what that means?
Coney holes.
oh, old people know what it means? Well, I'm thinking I know what it means, but I don't think I'm old.
I don't. I don't know.
Is it a recovering addict? Because that's what I was thinking when
Well,
Margot said 12 steps.
12 steps. That's, I don't
I
know.
don't think that's what it means. Anyways, we don't want to delve into their personal.
That's true.
Okay, I'm just
That's true.
all right. Here I go. Here I go. I'm stepping in the hole.
Ugh. Oh my goodness.
Well, I wrote that into Google, and they wanted to put stripper instead of stepper.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Well,
I'm
comfortable
still
life.
lost.
Hi, Robin.
Morning, Robin.
Because the definition of a stepper is an electric motor or other device that moves or rotates in a series of small discrete steps, and a portable block used in step aerobics. So I'm pretty sure that's not what it is. Okay, and then if I go to Urban Dictionary, slang for a person in Alcoholics Anonymous who followed the 12 steps. So
I don't know. I'm confused.
I just like to know if it's right or not.
Have a question. Do y'all
Um,
charge a surcharge to Alaska and Hawaii? No,
No.
I
mm-mm.
don't.
Nope, we just ship it to them.
Yeah, you just ship it like you would to somebody in your next neighboring state. I mean, it's the same thing.
I don't do free shipping though either, so
No, that's true.
You
I
always
don't.
have to kind of account for, if it's going to go to California, if it's going to go to Alaska or Hawaii, you kind of just have to account that it's going to be more in shipping. And you have to be ready to take on that if you're going to do free shipping. That's
Right.
one thing that I don't like about free shipping is because you are kind of in the dark about that, until somebody actually buys it and you know where it's going. You're kind of just going to have to take it
Mm-hmm.
unless you plan on canceling the sale, which can give you dings. So you don't want to do that.
Right.
That'd be bad business too.
Yep.
Evan. Hi, Eric.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning. How's everybody doing today?
How do you we're doing good.
Okay.
So far so good. With free shipping and shipping to Alaska and Hawaii.
Mm-hmm. What about it?
ship it. Nothing you can do about it.
Do
You just ship it.
you
Do you
Yeah.
charge a little bit more?
No.
You just
Because if you think about it, it's not that much more. I mean, the worst places I've ever shipped to are places like Death Valley, California.
Yeah.
Some places in Washington that suck. It's not always location in the in the world. Sometimes it's just how difficult it is for the post office to get there.
mm,
Um,
makes sense.
Hawaii's price, or Hawaii, and if you're shipping regular priority or it's a heavier box, they can be pricey. But you know what? If I lose a little bit, if I don't make quite as much on something that I ship to Hawaii or Alaska, I'm okay with that. I don't really worry too much about it because I don't get that many sales from there.
right?
I get more from Alaska than I get from Hawaii. And if it's first class, it doesn't matter. The other thing you got to really be careful about is media mail. Because media mail
Is
to
what?
Alaska or Hawaii, media mail to Alaska or Hawaii sucks.
Oh,
Takes forever to get there. Yeah, because it's the last thing put on. Like when you're going to Hawaii, I mean, a lot of stuff is done by container or by airplane, and so you could have a media mail. If they've got a lot of mail going and they don't have room, it doesn't make that trip that day.
Mm.
oh,
So you got to kind of think about stuff like that too.
I see. Well, that's good to know.
But yeah, I don't surcharge anywhere.
I
Too
didn't
much.
think it would be very good business to do something like that. You just
Well,
kind of have to account if you're, um,
now they're gonna let us do that with the fall update. They're setting it up so that you can surcharge by zone. So if you're shipped to a certain zone, you can add money to that, and it's going to be built into the eBay platform. And that's coming up in the fall. So that's like, so say you're on the East Coast and someone buys from Zone 9, I believe it's the West Coast. You can say, well, any purchases from Zone 9, there's going to be a $3 surcharge, and it's going to show in your shipping charges, so no one's surprised by it. It's just going to add $3 to it. So you can actually do it by zone as well, and then you can also get it cheaper if it's to your state or to your zone. It's going to a lot cheaper to ship to you, so you can make some adjustments
so
there as well. So
so then when people look at the shipping,
it's going to already
they're
be
gonna see it from their end.
Yeah, I do free shipping. Okay, so but I could, if I decide, I can have mine's going to be free shipping, or I could put a surcharge on there, and when they look at it, it'd say shipping to to wherever they say they're in California, $3.
Mm-hmm.
Add a shipping charge to it, and that way, as a free shipper, I'm not necessarily going to, especially on bigger items or priority items, I'm not going to have to eat a $15 charge, where most other places I send it to would be $10.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be, and I know they're working it out, and that's why it's in the fall update. But that's something people have always wanted is, can I surcharge to an area without killing my neighbors who want to buy my stuff as well?
Right.
Because right now, as a shipper, if you don't do calculated, if you just do a flat rate shipping charge, you lose money going to California. Like for me, I'm in Ohio, so I lose money going to California, but I make money going to Ohio, and that's
Right.
hard to do. And calculated is complicated because you need to have the box size, you need to have the weight and everything done, and most of us don't get to that extreme when we're listing.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting to see when it pops up. I don't know if I'm going to use it. I really don't need to, but for Alaska or Hawaii, I might slap a surcharge on there. I don't really know. I'll have to wait and see. It's part of the guaranteed shipping process. It'll take by your listing, and then your listing is going to guarantee shipping by your listing quality. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'm seeing a lot of stuff from the eBay Open. Apparently, eBay's announced a image search function, so that'll be interesting. Which should be kind of cool because a lot of people use Google Image to search for stuff, and if you don't know what it is, but somebody did sell it on eBay, you might be able to get lucky and find something. It's neat, but I don't know how practical it is, but we'll see. So you guys did an 8-hour show yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We sure did.
Yep.
I can't do that. It's too long in the middle of the day for me. And we were having a bad day yesterday.
Why'd you have a bad day?
No, I wasn't. It was Luke. We get those autism days, and so
Yeah.
one of those days. Those things build up over time, and he just gets frustrated, and then it just kind of comes out, and then it's just a holy war, and we have to get it straightened out.
Yeah.
So
That kid that was just in here, he used to have. He was very close to being. Well, at one point he was diagnosed with Asperger's, and he's completely changed since we've moved here. But he used to be, his behavior used to be really sketchy. You just never knew which way he was going to go from from hour to hour, more like it, rather than day to day.
it's all about stimulus. It's all about what sets them off. And for him, dog barking, baby crying are probably two of the worst things that bother him. And yesterday was our tornado siren test. So, because we were testing their tornado sirens, it also means that we got a little bit of howling from Zeus. For like 3 minutes.
Oh, right.
That sets him off like nobody's business, and it puts him into a whole nother world, and it takes hours for that to get done. So
do you think that's because he thinks it sounds like the dog's hurting, or
no? It's just one of those things. He just hates that sound. Baby crying is the worst thing. He can't be around babies at all. It freaks him out and it makes him go insane.
Wow.
With anger and everything. So it's one of the reasons we don't go to church. It's one of the reasons I don't take him out a lot to areas where there's a lot of kids, because can't stand it. It's the baby thing, and I don't know where that comes from, but he just can't stand it.
Yeah.
Used to be we thought it was because of sensitive ears, but no, I don't think that's it. I think it's just one of those one of those things that sets him off.
It's a whole sensory thing,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, people with autism have one of the issues they have, and why they have what they call a meltdown, is sensory overload, because they process things so different than everybody else. So they get the sensory
Oh
overload.
yeah.
Just, I mean, we've all had that happen to us, where we've just got too much stuff going on, and your body just starts to shut down. Well, most people, they don't shut down; it explodes out.
Yeah.
I get too much sensory overload. I can walk away from it, or I can just, just shut up. I gotta walk away. They don't understand it. It bounces in, it comes back out. It comes out as verbal attack, can come out as physical attack. Stop. They just want it to stop, and they'll do anything they can to make it stop.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things.
Yeah, like I remember when, well, even to this day, like even though I'm deaf, I can be at a parade and all the band music, the drums and all of that, that puts me into sensory overload. And I will cry because those drums, they just I feel like it's in my chest. And I feel, because they're so loud and everything, I feel like it's in my chest and it's in my head, and I just can't handle it. And I cry. And that's the only way to let it out, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I get some of that when I go out to eat at a restaurant, and it's one of those restaurants that's pumping the music in, and everybody's having fun, it's loud and everything. I can't hear anything, so I can't stand it. That's why I don't go to those type of restaurants, because I'm sitting on one end of the table, I might as well not be there, because I'm not going to hear what's going on the other end of the table, and it's just too much. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And, but my oldest son, when he was younger, he, really, it could be anything that set him off at that, at that age. It was almost anything and everything. And he completely, um he completely did not he didn't process things the way that other people his age processed information, like, from right and wrong. Basically, right and wrong to him was, if he does something right, then that's a good thing. If he does something wrong, it's only not good if somebody catches you.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's like, what? Where did you get that? I didn't raise you like that. But to him, that was how his mind worked. And it was nuts to think like that. But there, and it was like everything was like that. Like, he did not understand what you would think about the situation, because that's not how he processed it.
Well, they don't care.
Yeah, that's a lot of it.
Empathy is one of the things that is difficult for autism kids to get a grasp on. That I hurt your feelings. That they don't understand that all the time, and not all kids. And again, you met one kid with autism. You met one kid with autism. But for Luke, when he lashes out, it's "I'll kill the dog. You get out of my life. I hate you." He does not like to use the bad words. He doesn't like anybody around him to use bad words. And he will call you out, and he'll be extremely upset if a bad word slips out. If you don't apologize, it's an hour-long railing because you used a bad word. But he's not afraid to substitute words. So yesterday was a lot of fudge use, and I hate the fudging dog. So it's like, you might as well just say it if you're gonna speak like that. So how I keep my sanity, because I find it entirely amusing to be told to fudge off every now and then. So, but it's just one of those things. And my biggest concern with him is to make sure that he's not using that type of inflammatory language, in public, because causing trouble that I can't help him with.
Well, what you could do is allow him to say that, to speak his words While
And we
he's there
do.
with you.
Yeah, we talk about, using the right words at the right time and how, yeah, and it's all about trigger words and everything, and that's something they teach kids in school today. I am so triggered, and I'm like, I've never used that type of language, but okay,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have to bounce it because he understands the concept, so I have to bounce it back on him. So now I have to use words like triggered and everything, which just drives me insane from a personal standpoint. But
Mm-hmm.
I get why I have to do it, but it's just one of those. It's just one of those weird little quirks. And like I said, every now and then we have a good day or a bad day, but 90% of the days are good days. So.
That's good.
Well, in his defense, some days I want to punch my dogs too. So.
A little crazy every now and then. He hates the mailman. We all know that. But the problem is, he goes off. He hates the mailman. Hates anybody that comes in at my front door. So he's always going to bark at those things. So every day we have a barking explosion. But he doesn't see it like that. It's like it's an everyday. It's going to be over in 2 minutes. Like yesterday, the howling goes on for 2 minutes, and he literally railed about the howling for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And it's just, you're like, you've been complaining about this dog that howled for fairly quietly for 2 minutes for the next 3 hours. And that's the hardest part about dealing with things like that. It's just
Mm-hmm.
on and on and on. And then I have to start figuring out ways to get him out of that mood so that we can get back to doing what we need to do. And it took like 3 hours to get him out of it. And that's physically exhausting as well as mentally exhausting for myself. And I know he's tired of it as well, but
Yeah.
that's life.
Well, this kid, he had, debilitating ADHD to where he couldn't focus on even two things in a row. He couldn't follow any kind of direction like that. And then, bipolar disorder, and then, some Asperger stuff in there. It's like all of it together. I was told several times that I need to put him on disability, that I need to get him set up for that, and that he's not going to probably be able to finish school. And I just told so many things, and I'm like, you know what? No, we're not doing any of that.
Well,
He told me whenever he was, I think he was 15, and he wanted to get off the ADHD medication. He says that he has no personality with it. And I said, I know that some of the, it takes away, some of your imagination and stuff like that. He says, no, Mom, it takes away all of it. And yes, I'm able to focus, but at the same time, I can't communicate what I want to say, I can't, I can't be social.
A lot of the bipolar people, that's why bipolars often get off their meds, is because they say, because I can deal with the lows because I know the highs are going to be there.
Yeah.
You're on the medication, you're just like a flat line, and there's nothing there, and they would rather have to deal with the lows, because because every now and then they've got those wonderful highs.
Oh yeah.
So
and
I can understand some of that. Megan asked, how do I guide him out? A lot of times it's a matter of listening to what he's complaining about, and then either agreeing with it, as long as it doesn't cross over into my values, because there's things I won't agree with, and society won't agree with, so I can't let him get away with that stuff.
Right.
If I
ever
said that, he would be the controlling person and I would be the parent. And so you have to. That's why sometimes these go on for 3 or 4 hours, is because I have to get him to understand how important some of this stuff is. But a lot of times it can be, he's got a certain phrase he'll use, so we're done talking about that, and if I leave it alone, as long as I understand he knows the concept, then we can go from there. I can threaten to take away, his computers, YouTubes, things like that, things he really enjoys. But I'm not that type of parent. I don't want to do that. But I went to that route yesterday because of how important it is to not say things like, I hate you, I'm going to kill you, stuff like that.
Right.
Because that's the type of stuff that's going to, as I explained to him yesterday, I said, that's the type of stuff, if you say it to the wrong person, you're going to get kicked out of school, you're going to go to jail, and I can't help you there.
Right.
You'll be on your own, and, so it's, you got to get those concepts, down. And he's almost 14. old. So he's got to understand, because people don't know what it's like dealing with an autistic kid in the real world. You know, most cops don't deal with them. You know, firefighters, doctors. You know, it's difficult to understand unless you have firsthand knowledge of that. And so getting to that, you know, that's why you have so many of these, you know, accidents, but you know, they can be avoided, but because people just don't understand it. I mean, you know, you search out there, there was the one incident where the one autistic kid was sitting out sitting on the street. He had a knife, and his care worker was right there saying, no, he's autistic, don't worry about it, you know, I'll take care of it. And they shot him anyway. So, you know, I try to avoid, I don't want to be in a situation like that. So you got to think about
scary.
Yeah, and I mean, here's a great example. We're driving down the road. Now, this has been a year and a half ago. We're driving down the road. Where I live at is a very mixed community. There's some kids outside playing basketball, and he hangs out his head as we're driving back down the road. He's like, hello, brown people. He means nothing by that.
Yeah.
They're just different than him. And he has several of his best friends in school are African American, and they're great kids. But saying that in the wrong situation is not going to be good. You know, so I don't want to sit there and say, hey, don't say that, because he doesn't get it. He doesn't understand racism. He doesn't understand anything like that. But people are going to take that wrong. But it's hard to explain. You can't say things like that. It's not the right way. People don't appreciate that, and he just doesn't get it.
Yeah.
He's like, they're brown. I'm like, yeah, I know. It makes no difference. He's like, I asked him, does it make any difference? He's like, no, they're just brown. I just was away from it. I'm like, I know, I get it, but you can't say stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's stuff like that. It's just difficult. And you know, like I said,
my son,
really rough
he
day.
was in second. He was in second grade and trying to pick a fight with the sixth grader because he just.
My problem is Luke is 13 going on 14, and he is almost 6 feet tall and over 200 pounds. And if he decides to have a fight with somebody, he's gonna win.
Yeah.
Because not only, I mean, we play fight upstairs, and I have to be careful, because if he can get a nice punch in every now and then. I mean, and you know, it's some of his teasing or everything. And I've had a lot of training over the years, but I mean, he can still wail away at you, because he gets like this crazy thing, you know, where he really goes after you, and I have to be really careful, because he's caught me a couple of times.
And they have somewhat Superman power strength, anyways.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: he doesn't feel pain like a normal person does. You know, pain compliance, which is something I used to use when all the years I caught shoplifters, is, you know, if you're fighting with me, I will put you in a situation where it hurts if you move. If you don't move, it doesn't hurt. We call that pain compliance. Come with me. We're going to walk along this way. It's not going to hurt you. You try to pull away, you try to fight with me, I'm going to hurt you. So it's that simple. And it's just a technique you learn. But it doesn't affect him the same way. I mean, massive pain can hurt, but you know, the little things, all it does is make him angrier and angrier. So you have to be careful like that. And so think about a situation where he's in a fight and he's getting punched. All he's going to do is go harder and harder.
Yeah,
you know, he is such a sweet kid that I don't really ever have to worry about that. But it's the verbal assaults is the thing that I'm more worried about, where someone really, you know, is a real jerk out there to him, and he lashes out physically, and now he's the bad guy. Because we teach everybody in this world that, you know, sticks and stones, you know, the whole nine thing, you know, but for him, it can be a very personal attack. And if he lashes out, then, you know, he's the bad guy. He's the one that's in trouble. Oh, that guy says some mean stuff, but that's not the point. But he just doesn't understand that. So it's just one of those things. I mean, frozen Pepsis fix a lot of things, as we like to say in our household. So I can threaten to not stop and get a frozen drink from the local gas station, and that really can straighten him out too, because that's one of the things he looks forward to.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But sorry for putting the chat down, but that's what happened yesterday.
No.
I got a lot of cool stuff yesterday, though.
Like I said in the chat, ignorance can be dangerous. So
yeah,
word out there and stuff, you know, make people realize.
Oh yeah, changing my whole perception. I didn't know anything about autism or anything when I was till I had him.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Most people don't. And like I said, ignorance can be dangerous. You know, like those cops that shot that kid, you said, you know, they just didn't know, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, and it's
People are
hard to
afraid of things that
train.
they don't understand.
Awesome.
These were such a pain in the ass to look up.
Really?
They're Rexham is the company. This little thing right here, Minami, is the shop they're sold at.
Mm.
They're only sold at one shop in Japan.
Wow.
I paid $6 for them. They retail for $700 US.
Woohoo.
Nice.
No idea what they're going to be worth. These I'm going to probably put up like 150 or something like that because they're snowboard
like-
food.
They look like they're in good shape.
They're in very
well,
good
they're-
shape.
They're
Yeah.
super hard. They've got like all this binding. There's hook and loop up there. But that's not the cool stuff. I actually got that at a thrift store because we ran into traffic yesterday. Saw the chat was talking about ashtrays.
Mm.
Nice.
It's a lucite with abalone, but the most important piece is
Yep.
the Mason symbol. It's actually inset in there. So I paid $3 at auction for that.
Wow.
And that's a really cool piece with the Masonic connection.
Yeah.
That should bring 40 or 50. Again, not the best stuff. This is the best stuff. Let's go ahead and find the label on this one. Just the one with the label. This is the best stuff.
A bowling pin.
This is pre-1920.
Ooh.
Has, you can see the original label.
Mm.
Nice.
Brunswick Balke Corporation and Colander. We're having trouble dating these because I mean bowling pins are not the easiest thing in the world to date. One of the things that was interesting is because the stamp is on the plain wood, that means this was not a painted bowling pin like you typically see nowadays with the white paint on them and the crown and all this. This predates all that stuff.
Hmm.
And the painting started in the 1920s. The Brunswick Balke Colander Corporation started in 1884. So we were able to get it down to like 36-year thing, but we figure this is probably 1910 or so. They're worth. Now this one is the best one of the bunch, even though it's got a little ding right there, because it's complete. The bottom is there, everything. The problem is, as they get beat up and used, sometimes they have to shave the bottom off, so it affects the height. And I've got some like that. I bought 11 of these for $20.
Nice.
And I'm gonna put them up for depending on condition, labeling, and all that, between $50 and $75 a piece.
Awesome.
So, and then I got 3 of these.
Minis?
Well, these are called duck pins. But this is a special type of duck pin. This is called a rubber band duck pin. This is a band of rubber that goes around it. This game was also between 1900 and 1920, and then it went away. Now
What was the game called?
It's called duck pin bowling. Have you ever seen that?
Oh.
Duck pin bowling is just where they use. My hand's a little dirty here, but you use small wooden bowling balls.
Hmm.
It's about 3 pounds. They're extremely dirty.
Yeah.
And use smaller pins and use them on a leg. Now, this is an old one. The newer ones are actually a little bit more cut off in the bottom, and they don't have this rubber band around them. But this rubber band, it's called rubber band duck pin bowling, went away. It was in the all the wiki pages and everything. I was able to find it. They consider the game extinct, and now there's like 5 lanes in the country that actually still use this type of pin, and this has got the original rubber bands around it.
Right.
And it still has its original label. Hang on there too. So these are really, really rare. I've got 3 of them. I paid $20 for all 3 of those, and I'm gonna guesstimate probably about $100 a piece.
Nice.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a great pickup. And then
Now you said, I want to interrupt you for a minute. You said you were going to sell those other ones for 20 bucks a piece.
No.
Is that what you said?
Between 50 and 75 a piece.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, I
for all 11 of them. So
I was going to say I saw one that, I mean, it's almost in perfect condition though, but that went for 205, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, is he going to sell them for 20 bucks a piece? No way, you know?
yeah, the sad thing is that 20 bucks.
Okay, I just heard
I'd
you.
still make $220 on a $20 investment. I mean, that would be great money. And then I also got.
I think you'll do all right between 50 and 75.
So the ice skates, these are actually really nice ice skates. They're like 50 bucks. I paid $5. So, I mean, I spent a total of just right around $70 yesterday, and my return should be somewhere in the $800 to $1,000 range.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I've never had stuff like these bowling pins. I've never had old pins like that.
Yeah, I would price them high.
Do you have any words of wisdom for anybody looking at skis or ski shoes or whatever those are, ice skates or I don't really know anything about them, so
you gotta look them all up because you never know.
Well, the ice skates, I was able to find the brand. I was looking at Solds, and I was in a thrift store. What happened was I was in the town, and my pickup was late enough that it threw me right into monster bad traffic. And so, like, you know, I don't deal with traffic very well anymore. I don't have the patience for it, and Luke doesn't like it. And so, and it was getting right around dinner time, so I said, well, we'll stop and go to dinner, and then we'll hit a thrift store. And there's a couple of thrift stores up there, Vultures of American ones. And I'm like, we'll just shoot in there, and we'll spend 20 minutes just walking around. I didn't buy any clothes out of there. We're just killing time, basically. And I walked past and I saw the ice skates first. I'm like, oh, those look pretty good. And you can look at quality and say, yeah, it's a pretty quality skate. The blade's not all tore up. You can tell somebody took care of them. So I hold those in my hand, and I look over and I see these boots, and I pick them up. And the first thing I noticed was just the way the bindings are. I mean, you can see a piece of quality equipment, and this is hard plastic. It's in really good shape. I'm like, yeah, what are those? And I couldn't find anything at the time. I'm just looking on my phone real quick. You know, like for $6, I'm going to take a shot in the dark. I said, maybe it's $40, $50. I don't know what they're worth. I really don't. I'm gonna guess somewhere between 100 and 150. So I'll probably put them up for like 149 and best offer them, and somebody will tell me what they're worth. I paid $5. If somebody gives me a $75 offer, you know, no big deal.
Yeah.
You never know. I had 2 sales this morning when I woke up, and I sold these transformers. And they're these big, huge neon tube transformers. They weigh 20 pounds a piece. They're this big. They were sitting on my back. They're big black boxes. I sold both of them to the same person for $75 a piece. I paid $1 for both of them.
Wow.
So I turned $1 into 150. I mean, that's why I love auction, and that's why I love weird, obscure things. But I was actually able to look those up and found that there were solds on them. So that wasn't a buying in the dark. These were kind of a buying in the dark. But when you see stuff that's that cool and you get it that cheap, why not? You know, I mean, I know some of us are really tight on money, but sometimes you just got to take a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
You know, you don't always. Remember the other night when we were hanging out, me, you, and this is what I was buying, and I remember I go look at the auction, and that was just very spur of the moment because I wouldn't have bought these if I hadn't been hanging out with you and Valerie.
Yeah. Right.
Because I wasn't even on my computer at the time.
Yeah.
So.
That's cool. Megan wants to know if you can hold them up again and what brand.
Well,
I think she was talking about the ski shoes.
These are.
What do you call those, ski boots?
Well, these are the ice skates. These are ROCES. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Okay.
Okay, but the ski boots are Rexam, and if you go to the Rexam.com, it's the only way you can find them. And there's the next. Now, this Minami down here, I thought this would be like the brand and this would be like a shop or something like that. It's actually this is the shop. Now, I found, and the only reason I was able to find that shop name was I was in some Japanese snowboarding forums. These are snowboard shoes, by the way. Some snowboarding forums, and a guy was talking about, hey, I'm going to Japan. I need to know what where to get some equipment. I don't want to bring it along. And the guy had a list of like 7 different shops. It's like, and Minami was on that list. And then I started searching Rexam. I'm like, okay, what's the name of the shop? I'm never going to find anything on that. So I started searching Rexam, and I found their website and going through the translate and everything. And these are XX is the model.
Mm-hmm.
And these are not newer. These are probably 2-3 years old at least. But their newest release models they're 70,000 yen, I think is what it was, 7,000, 70,000, I can't remember. But when I did the translate to how much that is right now, it's $684 or something for them brand new.
Wow.
So I'm like, I will take I'll take a quarter of that. I paid $5. I mean, if somebody gives me $50, to me that's a win.
Yeah.
So but when you see quality, you buy quality.
Yep.
Right.
That's because quality equipment. And I don't normally buy ski stuff or.
But
but
you never know. Like if you see something really old, it looks old, and it's kind of tore up. And if you can't find it, on your phone or whatever, when you look it up, I mean, it could just be old and not mentionable anymore. Oh, the hell's that?
This is what they call a helmet mask.
Oh,
See
wow.
The holes around the side.
Mm-hmm.
This is out of. I actually found somebody has one very similar on eBay, and it's got some tribe and everything. Mine's in a little bit worse condition. But they got almost $400 for theirs, and mine's not quite in good shape. So I'm going to put mine up for $275. That was in a box lot at an auction. Nobody wanted it. So
That is crazy.
It's weird how you can find some of these things that are just obscure, and that'll take forever to sell.
Oh yeah.
It's been sitting over in my pile with a cowboy hat sitting on top of it now for 4 months because I just didn't feel like doing anything with it because I think it's kind of cool. But once I found one last night, I'm like, holy crap, those things are really valuable. I'll put it up and see what I can get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone gives me
$50
offer,
I mean, I guess you just have to kind of just take a chance on stuff like that if you're not able to find it.
Well,
you really think it's
a chance. If you walk past something, and I know Dusty's a huge proponent of this as well. If you walk past something and you go, "What the hell is that?" That's the thing you want to look at.
Mm-hmm.
I've made more money on crap I didn't know anything about until I actually bought it and brought it home and started researching it. Because sometimes it's that weird, unique stuff is what brings the most money. There's nothing wrong with selling, baseball hats or Walkmans or anything all day long. It's good money, but it's not great money. It's steady money, and that's good. Clothes, steady money. Very few clothing items are home run hitters.
Yeah.
That's what I've got tons of steady, little things that are going to bring money. But every now and then you got to get into those home run stuff where you're making really good money selling little things that no one thought was worth anything, but because no one ever thinks that, it never gets out there.
Yeah.
Actually, the only negative I sold those Transformers, and they're going to be a pain to pack and ship, but that's okay. I bought 4, and I showed them once before. It's been a long time, but I bought 4 photo albums from South Korea from a general. They were part of his. They were put together for him for like when he was on tour, and people were in the military was taking photos, and they built these little books for him, like remembrance books, like presentation things. And I bought 4 of them. The first one I sold for like $100 a quarter. I paid $30 a piece, and I just sold one yesterday for $87. I paid up for those, and I probably just paid too much, but they were really, really cool. But I made my money back on them plus some, and I still have 2 more left to sell. So, sometimes you got to pay up, sometimes you don't. But if you spend the money your right way, I got a lot of really cool stuff. It's stuff that I never even knew about, and it gained knowledge too. I didn't know anything about bowling pins and duck bowling. I didn't ever heard of rubber band duck bowling I mean, I've seen duck bowling before. I mean, I used to volunteer at a VA in Dayton, and they have a duck bowling pin lane there. So I've seen that before. I've never seen the rubber pin one.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that. Much less seen one.
Yeah, Tim was talking about, you know, Lego items. Lego's hot right now with all the minifigures and everything, and everybody's going crazy, and it's, you know, a huge dollar amount for them. But a couple of years, those things aren't going to be worth anything. You know, Lego's hot right now because Lego has really, you know, jumped on the Lego movie bandwagon. You know, all the different Lego video games. My son has, you know, they release a movie. He's got Marvel Avengers for Lego, and they're really good. I mean, it's really good stuff. They're putting out quality stuff, and it drives the rest of the Lego stuff. But is that stuff going to be worth anything 20 years from now? I don't know.
Nope, there will be a landfill full of them, I'm sure.
Well, some of the stuff probably will have something, but yeah, because kids aren't learning that stuff. My nephew from my first marriage had saved he would get a Lego kit, he'd build it, then he would take it apart, put it in bags, put it back in the box, and put it in the closet. And literally probably had 70 or 80 original Lego kits from like the 80s and 90s. And I don't know what he ever did with them. You know, I'm not really in contact with him at this point since I'm divorced and everything. But I mean, he was very anal about his Lego kits. So I'm sure that's what they were. And the family was also big on 3D puzzles and stuff like that. He probably gave them away because I mean, they're all really involved in church, and they probably just gave them to somebody else, which is fine. But yeah, if you put your hands on them, you probably had $10,000 worth of Legos. But that's $10,000 now. 2 years from now, maybe it's nothing.
True.
But you know, bubbles are great for the quick hit stuff, but you got to be on the right end of the bubble. Otherwise, buy good quality old stuff.
Yeah.
It will sell. It may take longer, but you'll get better money for it.
I'm not gonna say that if I had a bunch of them, I wouldn't put them up.
Oh no,
but I'm not gonna go spend money on them.
Well,
you know,
it's not so much that they don't sell, because they will sell. It's how much you have to buy to get them into them now. If you got into them 5 years ago, when you could pick them up at garage sales and all that stuff, and hit the window as it was going up, you made your money and got out. Starbucks coffee, you know, 4 years ago, you could buy it, sell it like crazy, and get out in time to not worry about it. It's those little things you got to buy. I mean, I bought Tara just jumped in. I bought an English saddle last night, Tara.
Hey.
I don't know anything about them, but I paid $6 for it. It's in really nice shape.
English saddle?
English saddle. I don't know. I looked them up. They're worth between $75 and $200. I don't know if there's a name on it or anything like that, but it's in really nice shape. So, I paid $6 for it.
Where is it at?
Well, it's in Ohio. I mean, I picked it up this afternoon. So I'll show it to everybody tomorrow. But that's the type of stuff sometimes you kind of throw a few dollars at and see what you can get out of it.
No.
I mean,
low end English is always worth $60 to $70 with free shipping, and they're cheap to ship. They only cost about like $20 or $25 to ship. No, when you look at it, the name is underneath the little flap that's up by the cantle. Yeah,
I said they didn't put a name on it, so I mean, it could be a really nice maker saddle, or it could just be an everyday, Joe Schmo saddle. But usually,
you can usually kind of tell by the pictures how it is.
Yeah, usually when I see saddles for auction, they're dried up and worn out, and they're not worth anything. This one looked like it was really nice shape.
I will say, even though because I'll go to horse auctions and I buy a lot of saddles if I can get them cheap. I mean, even like the dried up ones, they're still buying them for like decor or whatever.
Oh yeah, I've sold a lot of saddles for decor.
A lot of prop companies buy them, or like the Western saddles, people are making stools out of them, so a lot of them go into decor like that.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I took a shot in the dark, spent $6. If it's not worth anything, I throw it away. But I think it'll be worth. I'm guessing it's going to be worth about $75. So, and it's really close to the house, so it's not a big deal to pick it up.
One time, my husband, the guys that work for the town here, were cleaning out the park, and I don't know who did it. Somebody threw 2 saddles in the garbage. I'm assuming they were at one of the camps here. We got a lot of camps that have horseback riding programs. Threw these 2 saddles away. He pulled them out of the garbage and gave them to Jim because he knew that Jim was with me. So I put them up for sale. And I sold them for $200 a piece. They weren't even a brand I knew anything about, but they were a polo saddle. That was made. They were Argentine saddle, which is not usually that great, but these are these polo saddles. I sold them for $200 a snap. So you never know.
Yeah, I mean I'm sure, Terry, you guys buy things just because it looks cool or you've never seen it before, and
Yeah.
that's what you usually make your money on.
Yeah.
It's the stuff you've never seen before.
Yeah, and if the price is right, I mean, I don't try looking it up or anything. I just buy it.
Yeah. Good. Over here, Sacker asked if we would buy store displays of headphones. I mean, if they were Beats and the price was right, probably. Just move. Let's see, he said Philips, JBL, Braven, 808, Monster, about $2 each per display. I don't really know much about them. I mean, they're used headphones, just look at it that way. As long as they are, truly used headphones and they all work, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, but again, I don't want to buy, a display that has 500 of them on there either. So, but if they're good quality, good brands, and you're sold for used headphones, they're $20 a piece or something like that, I probably would buy them.
Well, that's that kind of the gift that keeps giving. You have it. You might sell 2 a month, but that'll give you that, those sales. Yeah,
I mean, I've sold a lot of used headphones over the time. I mean, old Sony ones and things like that, and they always bring decent money. So, as long as they're in pretty decent shape, I don't see. I mean, $2 is not a bad price to pay for a quality headphone that you can sell for, even if you only got 15 a piece out of them.
Yeah.
If there's 10 on a display, so you spend $20. And you get 15 a piece out of them, that's $150. So you just do the math, 20 into 150 is pretty decent return. I don't think most people would turn that down. Oh, you can't preview them. It's an online auction.
That's a bit risky.
I'd have to think about that one because you never know did they cut the cords on them? I mean, it depends how much information you have from the online auction and kind of go from there. You don't know what you're buying there. That's so in relation to that, I always make sure my price is low, which is why I get such great deals because that's where I shop mainly is online auction. And everybody else has that same thought process is you can't spend a lot of money because you don't know what the heck you're buying. You don't know if it's good or not. You can only go by 3 or 4 pictures, and so prices stay down. So if you have online auctions in your area, shop those hard, and those are becoming more and more popular. Now some places can't have them because of state laws and everything, but
I'm gonna have to look, and see if there's any. I know that there are, but I need to look and see. And
we're talking local online auctions, not the big ones.
Right.
Ones that you can find, when you look at the online, I mean, you'll be able to look and tell. I mean, you have I've seen some in your area. The estate auction company does them.
Mm-hmm.
But those are almost always expensive. I can't think of the name of that company, but so they're legal in your area at least.
That's what was that, legal, carrying transitions or something like that?
Transitions. Yeah, that's the site I was talking about.
Yeah.
To me, I don't know if that site just sets me off. It just seems like Carrying Transitions will sell all your stuff and throw you in a home somewhere. Yeah. That's what I feel like I'm doing. I'm buying stuff from them.
That's what I mean. That's really what it sounds like.
Yeah. So I've never bought anything from them just because it's creepy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta be careful with something like that. It's an auction zip in Waco. What's the zip code for Waco? Because that's how I gotta look up auction zip. Auction zip is the way to find them. Just don't click on them when you go to auctionzip.com. Don't click on the little red ones. You'll pull up. You put your zip code in and how many miles away you're willing to drive, and that's always an estimate. It's like 30, 50, 100, 200, and then put your zip code in and hit enter. It's going to bring up a calendar, and you'll have a bunch of auctions in blue. You'll also have auctions then in red underneath it, and those are nationwide auctions, so you don't want to click on those. You only want to click on the blue ones, and that'll be your local auctions. And in there, you'll usually find your online auction companies will advertise. And once you get out of auctions up to their websites, save their websites, and that way you don't have to worry about going back through auctions all the time.
Oh, okay.
So
good idea.
When you do it that way, you're kind of bypassing auctions. I have like 5 auction companies that I deal with here that are local. I've got a couple that I have saved that I don't ever buy from because they're too far away. But I have never know when you're gonna feel like I'm gonna feel like driving to Cleveland or something. But 76634. Let me pull up. I gotta get a new tab going. Where is it?
I'm doing something a little bit different today. I'm working during the show.
That's always good.
I never do that because I'm trying to, keep up with the chat and keep up with everything, but I think it's good to be productive during the show also.
I'm productively eating during the show.
What's the item? What's the number on the Silver Sector? What's the item number? What number is it? Or what page is it on? How about that? I'm actually in the auction. It's there's only 3 pages. I'll find it. Never mind. Ah, there they are. All right. Interesting. Okay, headphone display. Well, there's just not a lot of information there with pictures. The part of the problem is you don't know if those are actually working units, because those could be just like empty displays that were sent out with when the company made the displays. Is there anything else that you're buying in that auction? It's one of those, because there's sometimes I'll be looking through an auction, and I'm on like the 5th page, and I finally find something really cool, and so I'll start bidding on that. And then one of the other things I'll do then is I'll go back and say, okay, I really want to go pick up from this auction. So what else can I buy? It's a good price that I can make money on, that maybe wasn't that sexy or wasn't a really cool thing, but I know I can make money on it, to make it more worth my trip to make that drive. So, you know, I'm buying one thing, but then I'm going to bid on 4 or 5 other things, because if I'm making the drive anyway, let's throw 5 $20 wins in there along with my $200 win.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, now instead of driving up there for $200, I'm driving up there for $400 or something like that. I mean, that's how I think when I do these things. Of course, you accumulate quite a bit as well doing it that way, but you know, but that's how you build your wins up. I don't know if I would buy that stuff. I don't like buying from those type of deals because you don't really know anything history. Now, if they had a preview, we could go and plug something in and test and see if it actually worked. I'd say okay. And the other Jason asked, do I ever shop Gov deals? I do shop it, but in my area, I don't get any good deals on anything. But some areas are fantastic. I know that Jim and Tara have done really well with their local surplus auction.
Ours is a local courthouse run auction. They don't even have it on Gov deals.
But something very similar to that. I mean, but you guys have done very well on that. And Dusty's bought a lot off of Gov deals. So yeah, there are ways to make money out there on Gov deals. But from my area, I live in a fairly populous, it's the second largest city in Ohio. So I'm not really getting much in the way of smoking deals. But I have bid on stuff. I just never won it because it goes way more than I'm really willing to spend. But it's a good way to build up quantity. Yeah, if you miss the preview, you're kind of hosed. See, that's the bad thing. Most of your local online auctions don't have a preview, so you can only go by the photos. And the nice thing about buying like that is you can kind of cherry pick. Like, I'm going to buy that one item. I'm not going to buy boxes and boxes of stuff to get one good item. I'm buying that piece, or I'm buying that piece. And then it also makes you with good contacts, because if you ever get to that point where you're like, I'm done, I want to get out of the business, or I'm like, I got way too much stuff, you can call these guys up and they'll come and auction your stuff off for you, and you don't have to do any work. So. Yeah, I don't think I would buy them personally, Silver Stacker. Yeah, they're $5 a piece, $2 a piece, whatever they are. I don't trust them enough to be. You know, the other problem is if they're on a display, they're probably have like screws into them. How are they mounted on the display? Stuff like that. I wouldn't. There's better stuff out there. Although I have to admit, your auction, when I ran you an auction zip, sucked for your zip code. I mean, it was, when I pull him up for the month, for 50 miles from that zip code, he had 2 auctions today, 1 auction tomorrow, and 5 on Saturday.
Wow, you'd think it'd be more busy down there in Texas.
If I run my zip code, now it's probably because you're just so, you know, it's so spread out. But if I ran for my area, I would probably have, I don't know, I can run. I'm actually looking at your Saturday auctions first before I do that. You got some good ones coming up on Saturday. It looks like some decent antique auctions. But to give you an example, I run my zip code for 50 miles. And today I have 22 auctions. Tomorrow's 20. Saturday's 25. Sunday's 19. Monday is 8.
Wow.
And some of those are online. And a lot of those are live. And I'm actually kind of lucky. I have a military liquidation auction that's local to me too, so I can kind of get on to the military sites and get those. But I have a lot of Amazon return auctions that go on that I don't buy from. But it's a little thing. I mean, you can. It's Thursday.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to take a look at that and see what I can find.
I mean, everybody needs to look at it. You know, if you're not thinking about, and again, everybody's area is different, but if you're not thinking about auctions as a source, you're missing out on a lot of money. I would rather go to auctions than hit 20 thrift stores in a day. And I've done both. I mean, you guys saw what I just bought at a thrift store. So, I mean, there's money to be made in those. But, yeah, you can't pass up auctions.
I just threw all my dogs outside.
I was going to say, for the area I live in, I couldn't make it on just having thrift stores because my thrift stores aren't that good. I have to do the auctions.
Yeah.
I could live on thrift stores. I can live on just auctions.
No.
I've never, I mean, this will be for people. I don't garage sale at all.
I don't really garage sale either. I
don't have the time.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's brutal. That's worse than going to thrift stores. Because
sometimes if I'm driving by one and I see one, then I'll go. But I don't go out and like map out, garage. I'm gonna go garage selling day. I don't do it. I'd rather go.
Oh, I'm sure I miss really great deals out there, but I'm like, there's a pain threshold with getting in the car and hopping from baby sale to baby sale that I just can't deal with.
Yeah.
I mean, I garage sold the past, and there's nothing wrong with it, but by the time you hit your fifth one full of baby clothes, it's like, seriously, no.
I'd rather drive to a good auction and stay there all day than hop around in the car driving around to 20 garage sales.
Yeah, because I mean, if you get enough information on the auction, kind of what's going to be there.
Yeah. I
mean, I was online with Jason last night. We were looking at local auctions, and there's one where they're actually selling they took down an antique barn, all the wood posts and beams and everything. They're selling the whole barn.
Yeah.
Wow.
They literally have pallets of beams and pallets of wood planking and pallets of and this barn was probably 150 years old. They're going to sell it all off. They're going to piece it out.
No.
So I mean, and there's if you had the space and the cash, there's tons of money in old barn wood.
Yeah, but even if you don't want to mess around with the wood, when they took that barn down, you're going to have the hay trolleys up in the loft probably.
All that stuff is for sale.
Yeah, you're going to have that kind of stuff. So that kind of stuff might be easier for us being an eBay seller if we can pick up that kind of stuff, right?
The nice thing about it is it's really close to where Jason's at, and he's like, I'm thinking about going to that one. And it's because there's little things that he can pick up that will make the trip worthwhile. He doesn't care about the wood. Nobody. I mean, most of us don't have the facilities to handle that type of business, but you go there and he's looking at like the lightning rods. Those are the big long rods with the milk glass balls in them. He's looking at those. He's looking at some tools. He's looking at some door hardware, stuff like that. Which it brings really good money, and you just got to get there and buy it. That's all. And most people aren't going to buy are there for the wood or the stuff like that. They're not thinking about all the little pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Tim says it right. Where you live dictates what you buy. I mean, and that's true. There is, you have to have decent auctions around you. Yeah, Steven's definitely right. Auction, you can sit on your ass most of the time. I do more sourcing from this chair than this time anything else. I mean, it's great to sit here at 8 o'clock at night. And I'm like, I'll buy that. And all I got to do is I got to go out and drive and pick it up. And I'm going out anyway because I go to the post. Because all these pickups are usually between like 2 and 7. Sometimes they're a little tighter time frames, 3 to 6, something like that. So I wait, get my packages done, go to the post office, and head out and do my pickups.
Yeah, I prefer live auctions myself, but
I love going to a live.
I like that instant gratification.
Well, I like going to the live auction, but I don't have that freedom to do that.
You don't.
That often.
Yeah, you don't have that freedom. Yeah.
Before I moved back to Ohio, before I lost my wife, I was at live auctions 6 nights a week because I was traveling for work. I get off work and I just say, okay, where's a live auction around me? I'd be in Delaware, or I'd be in Eastern Shore, Maryland, or I'd be down in Beckley, West Virginia, and I'd go there. I'd buy 3 or 4 pieces, and I'd leave, and I'd have my trunk full of stuff when I came home. So I'm doing my Ollie's job, and then after hours, I'm sitting there doing my fun stuff.
Yeah. Online auctions are perfect for somebody like you. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what I would do then is I'd take that stuff back, and I wasn't doing a lot of eBay back then, so I would actually just flip it into a really good local auction. That the guy was well known on the East Coast, and he had buyers from New York and everything coming down every time he had an auction. So I always made great money just flipping to live, paying him 20% on top of what I paid for the items, and I'm still making. I was making. Oh, I think the last year I did it, it was like $10,000 or $12,000 that year that we made on auctions. And that was just flipping. And if I'd put the stuff on eBay, I probably would have doubled the money, but I didn't have time for that.
That's like a lot of times when I buy from auctions, a lot of the box rows, and I pick out what I want and I take them back to the auction, I end up making more money for that than what I paid for, and I still have sold those items on eBay, you know.
Yep. And like I said, you buy enough quantity, you get a good enough price, and you make a living. Yes, Tim, we're all ready for football. Training camp started yesterday for my team. So,
like Tara said, I wouldn't be able to make what I make if there was an auction. So, you can't. I mean, like those bowling pins and stuff you found, Eric. You don't find that stuff at thrift stores. Not around here anyway.
No, you don't find it at a thrift store. You very rarely find it at garage sales. You're going to find it in an auction. And
or if you find it at garage sales, people just want exorbitant amounts for it.
Yeah. But I figured I'd either sell them in pairs or in singlies. But after doing some research, I'm going to put them up. I'm going to have 11 listings for those. I'm going to have the duck pins are going to be up. So that's 14 listings. Yesterday I spent $77. I got 14, 15, 16, 17. I'm going to end up with 18 listings, I think, out of that. It'll be really simple because it'll be just sell similar with just different pictures. And like I said, 18 listings turns to $800 or $900, and it's 70. I mean, that's a good win. They don't take up much space.
Or like me and Terry, we sell car parts and tractor parts and stuff like that. You can't find that shit at thrift stores.
Did that guy ever get back to you about all those manuals?
Yeah, he wanted $30,000 for them.
Oh boy.
Nice to one thing. So yeah.
That sounds like my guy that I messaged yesterday on the yard sale site. He had a bunch of electrical switches and a couple of breaker boxes and stuff like that. He put $1, and I thought, oh, maybe he meant $1 for each. Well, I guess they do that because they have to input an amount, but they they don't want to put what they really want. He wanted like $900. He says, I'll take $900 for all of it. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm looking for something cheaper than that.
For the right person, that might be a good price. But, why would I pay retail for something that I can go to the store and buy retail and have, the ability to take it back or warranty for 9 yards? So,
yeah,
exactly. Well, like my husband said, the $30,000, that was only like, I think he figured it out to be only like $4 a manual. But I mean, $30,000, that's a lot of money to have tied up for.
Yeah, and how long does it take you to get it back? You know what I mean?
I know, exactly.
That's a big step.
That's a lot of money to.
Well, yeah. 4,000. If you have 4,000 manuals, if you got $20 a manual, it's 8,000. Or it's $80,000. Okay, so that's a pretty decent return.
It is,
but probably talking 5 or 6 years to even break even.
Exactly.
And so that's where the money kind of sucks. I mean, and he's unrealistic on his prices because he's never going to get that out of them. Yeah, that's one of those addresses you write down and you wait for the estate sale when the guy dies.
Yeah.
Because they'll sell boxes of those. You'll get them for like $5 for 20 at a time. I mean, it'll be crazy how cheap they'll do.
I mean, I just got like 20. I don't know how many manuals it was. It was quite. I think it was 15 manuals for, plus a whole table full of stuff for $5. So.
Yeah.
And I know one of those manuals will go for 20 easy. I know for sure. I haven't looked up the other ones, but I know one of them will. So everything else will be gravy. I mean, I sell the shit out of manuals, especially tractor manuals.
Yeah.
To the tractor show, you know.
Any
But,
manuals are good. Any manuals are good.
Yeah,
I bought
but to hold up
go ahead. Sorry.
$1,000 on manuals, that's, you know, because they can be kind of a long tail item, you know.
Yeah, I have a lot of manuals because I went to 2 auctions back to back this fall, and I've sold a lot of manuals. I still have quite a few left, but I mean, I bought like a whole big shelf unit of manuals for $50, you know, and there was probably, when I pulled them out, I mean, I don't know, 300 manuals on there, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And lawn tractor manuals are good too, like the vintage lawn boy manuals and stuff like that. I mean, I was selling those $50, $60 a piece. You know, like the master binders and stuff like that.
But last summer I bought a box full of John Deere manuals for $5, and I mean there was probably 30 manuals in there, and I picked out the good ones, you know, that were $20, $30, $40 sellers for like old hay binds. There was ones for some the skid steers and the scoops and stuff like that. Those were a little harder to sell. I sold those for about $10 a piece, you know, but I definitely got.
I would say like old grain drill manuals and stuff like that. They're usually worth about 10 to 12 a piece.
Yeah. Yeah, some of them took longer to sell, but I sold the shit out of some of them right away.
Yeah, but see, that's the beauty thing. I mean, even if you only get $2 a piece, you're going to make a ton of money on them, and it's a 3-picture listing.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what I like about them. You know, manuals and things like that is front, back, and you know, maybe an index or you know a year published type picture, something like that. You don't have to worry about it. They'll sell.
I still have a ton of manuals that still need to be listed from.
Yeah. They take no time to list.
Yeah, you just have to get them done.
And Mr. Sadie says, you know, he used to go to live auctions and he got tired of competing with the dealers. There is some of that. You're always going to have to compete with local dealers who will spend more money because they're going to put it in their shop and make, you know, charge an exorbitant amount. But you can still beat those guys out at their game. Just buy stuff that either they're not in love with, or run them to the point where they're paying almost retail for everything.
Yeah. And at the beginning of the auction, they'll bid strong, but then by the end of the auction, they start thinking about how much money they spent. You start getting more deals. So
yeah, that's why I always say, if you're going to go to a live auction, get there early and stay late.
Yeah.
And really,
last dog is home.
Yeah, spend some money early, watch everything sell in the middle of the auction, and then go strong late.
Yeah.
And like me, I don't go for all the collectibles. I mean the real fancy collectibles. I go for the shit that they don't want. You know, then I get it cheap, and I sell it for good amounts, you know.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want all those little dirty parts and stuff, and a lot of times why I make so much money on box rows is these are being dug out of old barns and nasty basements and stuff, and I have to clean all that stuff up. Nobody wants to deal with that, or they think it's all shit, you know, because it's all dirty and nasty. But I take it home and clean it up, and I sell it for, you know, tons of money. That's why I like the box rows too, you know.
Yeah. Huh? Barn fresh is my favorite term. Mm-hmm. You get stuff that's barn fresh, you know you can make money on it. Yeah, but that's going to turn too. One of these days, that's going to be over with. Yeah. People are going to stop buying that stuff.
Yep. Yeah, when we start getting the millennials in here, you know, they're buying. They're not going to be wanting that kind of stuff. So.
No, you know, you just got to figure out what the, you know, the millennials in about 15 years are going to start buying, you know, things that remind them of their childhood, you know, which I have no idea what that's going to be, but
yeah,
you know, you have to think about stuff like that. I mean, there's a reason why we have, you know, at times when stuff just isn't worth anything. 10 toys used to be worth just an outrageous amount, and nowadays they're really not worth what they used to be. I mean, you know, pristine examples of anything always bring the best money, but it used to be you could sell a ratted out 10 toy and make just crazy money off of it because nobody had seen that before, and
now
nobody's buying that stuff. is going on in the world?
Oh Lord, I'm looking at auctions.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Valerie's getting on auctions.
I mean, it's, yeah, you've got the bins, you've got your garage sales, you've got auctions. I mean, there's source where you can, but don't eliminate a source unless you personally.
Right.
That's the nice thing about auctions is, once you go to one auction and you find a company you like, you can kind of stick with them because the stuff's always going to change.
Right.
Yeah. My thing with auctions is there's always such a wide variety of stuff too. I mean, stuff you just don't see everywhere.
Nope,
Yeah.
that's true.
And usually it's such a wide variety that I don't have to stick to just one thing, you know. I have my favorite things that I sell, but, you know, I'm not limited to that stuff.
Yeah.
This Saturday, there's an auction at a fabric store.
I was going to tell you about that one in Ashland.
I don't know if I'm going to go, but we'll see.
I mean, bolts of fabric, it actually brings crazy money. I sold
Yeah, I
it.
know.
I think they got a bunch of like higher end like sewing machines and quilting machines. So,
Yeah.
But see, yeah, see, that's the type of stuff that'll bring really good money, but the fabric won't bring much.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
Well, I have like a huge garbage bag full of old, what do you call it? Sesame Street fabric, all brand new. Do I ever take a picture of it and sell it? No. So that's why I'm trying to think of whether I want to go or not.
that's part of the
Not
problem.
stuff I have interest in. So, you know. All
You
these
gotta
posts,
sell the stuff.
I see all these posts of people selling all this vintage cartoon fabric for all this money, you know, and it's like, I should get that listed. Yeah, I should.
Oh, wow. That artillery photograph thing for that general is actually going to a museum.
Cool.
Bazinga.
It's the banana man.
Hey, Jason.
What's going on, peeps?
Come on.
Jason kept me up too late last night.
It was a rough night.
He's like, hey, want to hang out for a few minutes? I'm like, yeah, sure. 4 hours later.
Not my fault you could talk. Because you know it's not me. I'm the quiet one.
Yeah. No, you just like, hey, let's check out some storage auctions. And next thing you know.
I know.
I wish we had better storage.
Of course, I found a few.
Yeah. Yeah, but then you got time on those, so.
Oh, yeah. They're all in August.
Do you get very good storage auctions where you're at, Tara?
Not really. I mean, I've done
mine are
on
shitty.
them, but like, I mean, I haven't had a storage auction in like Eagle River for over a year, a little over a year.
Yeah.
There was one up in Senior, which was like 20 miles away from me, but it didn't look that great.
Yeah.
It was funny. Jason and I were on storageauction.com, or Storage Treasures, whatever the hell it's called. And I ran my zip code for 200 miles, and I had 198 storage auctions. He ran his for 200 miles, and he had 700 and...
I think it was 29.
Yeah, I mean, it's some crazy number for available storage auctions. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember yesterday I was talking about how my eBay fees look like they're all jacked up.
Yeah.
Well, they were correct, but I did learn something because I typically pay my fees down to zero. And so what I was doing is I had a zero balance, and then you can add up your fees from then is how did it increase? what I didn't know, and even eBay didn't know until they kind of figured out, is when they do give a FedEx shipping payment, when it gets put to your invoice, they date the invoice for when you actually printed the label. And so if you look at your fees, you say, I printed a label on July 15th, and here it is July 22nd, and they finally drop it in. They don't put it in for a July 22nd date. They backdate it to July 15th. So if you paid at zero,
you already paid for.
Yeah, if you were at a zero balance on July 21st, you're just expecting the money from that point forward, but they're actually backdating some of this stuff, which I get it makes sense in the grand scheme of things, but not from an accounting sense.
Yeah.
If they want to do that, they should put it in for when it hits your account and then put a memo note in there about what date the invoice was printed at. But yeah, I was on the phone for like 45 minutes before we were able to finally track down why my numbers didn't add up.
Did they figure out why your account's so gimped?
No, I didn't want to go down that road with them because that's a whole nother issue. Why I had the
Why your account so what?
For some reason, if I do a new listing, it takes between 4 and 6 hours for it to show live to everybody else, but I can see it in my active listings.
Oh boy.
Like I just relisted. Go to my store. Tell me how many items I have showing, Jason.
Oh, yeah. 1 sec. Let's see. All right. Sellers you follow. Sellers you dislike with extreme prejudice. Oh, here we go. It says you have 440.
According to my active listing tab, I have 553 because I just did a relist.
Oh.
And it will take 4 or 5 hours for all of those to show up. And what's crazy is it shows up with the time I actually listed them, but they're not visible to anybody. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have to call them about that. But.
Everyone wants serious talk today. Why don't we talk about taxes?
Poop. Let's talk about poop instead.
Let's fling some poop around.
Quarterly taxes are due this month, aren't they?
There's nothing like a little tax talk in the morning.
Ugh. No.
Well,
I'll boot you for that one.
That just killed the room. I'm like Buzz Killington over here.
Yeah, see, Valerie, I told you I should have put my dogs out this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all pooped in the hallway.
Oh no!
I should get some money back because the money I pay out is determined on what I've paid in the past this year as I did last year. So I should get some money back.
No, I don't pay my taxes quarterly.
No, I don't do quarterly either. Even though like I get a little bit of a penalty for not doing it.
I don't make enough taxable to get penalized on it.
See, I end up owing a lot, so you know.
Because you're Mr. Moneybags.
Yeah, you are.
Last year, well, you owed a little bit last year. You didn't owe a ton. I mean,
I don't know. It's whatever. It is what it is.
You owe it is the key. So.
Do you have an accountant, Jason?
What?
Do you have a CPA do yours?
I can't hear you.
Sorry, do you have a CPA do yours?
Oh, I use GoDaddy, and then from there I go to my CPA with that information.
Yeah,
yep.
I have like a family CPA that's my family's been there like 3 generations.
Yeah.
It's like I couldn't even if I wanted to do it on my own I wouldn't because I love them so much.
Yeah.
Good morning, Maureen. I found me a auction to go to.
Awesome.
You did.
I did. Sunday at noon in a town called Fawcett.
That'd be good.
Hey, Tara.
Well, what's going on there, Sally? It's going choo-choo.
Sally train, what?
I don't know.
Come ride the Sally train.
Yeah.
I'll ride the Sally train.
Well, speaking of taxes, that's crazy because
What?
we just got our state tax refund in the mail that we've been waiting since February. Yeah.
Good luck, everybody.
Are people still getting tax refunds? Holy.
That's good.
Yeah. Brandon says, we're going to dinner tonight and I'm getting new shoes. His shoes have so many holes in them. He looks like a little face.
I'll even put a shirt on.
Wait. You go to the thrift store all the time. You need to pick up a pair of cheap shoes. I mean,
yeah, you know what? I've been through my shoe lots and I cannot find shoes that fit him. Like they're all around his sizes, and I think he wears a 9.5 wide, and there's nothing.
Yeah, somebody I know had a bunch of sneakers for sale. About those.
They don't deposit these in Michigan for some reason. They don't direct deposit state taxes.
Yeah,
they only do federal.
Yeah, that way they can hold on to your tax for a little bit longer and get some more interest and use that money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a crock.
I know, but hey, you know what?
Hey,
I'm just glad to have it today.
That's right.
And you know what? I was planning on trying to find an auction myself this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a 12-hour show this weekend. If I can find an auction, I'm going.
Okay.
Wow. That's messed up after you already announced it and all.
No, I mean, we could still have one. It's just I'm not going to be here.
Yeah, but how are you going to be there?
I'll just throw it on autopilot.
Are you gonna run home, launch the 6 o'clock hour auction or show from your computer, then run back to the auction?
I don't know. Maybe it'll be in the morning or something. Some of them
What's
are.
your zip first? So let's see if there's any auctions.
48651.
Besides, why do you want to pay? Why do you want to pay for stuff, Sally?
So what she's pretty much telling us is we're okay when she doesn't have money, but when she has money,
right.
How far are you willing to drive, Sally?
50 miles.
So hopefully Sally never becomes rich because we'll all be gone.
You did say
right. You guys are fee donors.
She won't remember us little people.
Oh, stop it.
Listen, I've been called many things, but little people is not one of them.
You have 5 auctions available on the weekend.
Yeah, me too.
Anything on Friday?
Oh, you want Friday? Okay.
Anything tonight?
There's one auction on Friday in Gladwin.
Okay.
And there's one auction today at 4 o'clock. Says it's a double estate auction in Freeland.
I don't think you can cash that check fast enough.
I don't even know where that is. Freeland.
You have to.
That's right up your alley, Freeland.
I know. I know.
That's gotta be a winner, right?
Shit, I might have to move there.
It's a farm auction, so there's also a lot of.
Oh, a good one.
Yeah, it's actually looks pretty decent. Let's see, where is it at? We'll check it out for Sally.
Farm auctions are awesome.
And what's the town you're in again? What's the name of it?
Prudenville.
Yeah.
It's 1 hour.
Wonder how fast.
It's right outside of Saginaw.
Mm.
It's 77 miles basically. That's tonight's auction.
Yeah.
So that one might be a little far. but it is a 4 o'clock, so it is a later auction. That's an interesting start time for a farm auction.
Yeah. Must be a small auction.
Tomorrow's auction is a live auction. And it's an online auction as well.
Hmm.
And they have 387. Now here's the problem: is it's a live and online.
Oh.
Hmm.
So
So is
when
that
you're
not
there,
good?
you're actually bidding against both people. You're bidding against online people and people aren't there, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because I mean I've been to many of those, and it's fine. It's just one of those. It's a little weird. You can't read the room because you don't know who the heck you're bidding against.
Yeah.
Right.
So not a big deal, but so you got a couple, and this weekend you got a few. The ones on the weekends usually start early, so you could still do your part of the show.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
But take a couple.
I'm looking in Cadillac.
Okay.
Your what?
I don't know where that's at, but how far away is it?
About 45 minutes.
Okay. Is there any auction companies in your town?
I don't believe so.
Google it. Sometimes you can Google it, because some, like our two main auction companies in Duluth, do not advertise on
A lot of small
auctions.
auction houses don't do auctions up advertising. Some of them never heard of it, and some of them just don't want to do it. But they do paper advertising, like to put it in the paper or stuff like that. So you gotta have to kind of look around for it.
Like the main auction that I go to, he doesn't need. He's got plenty of following and stuff, but yeah, they don't advertise in auctions yet. So a lot of times, if I'm going to a new town looking for an auction,
Yeah.
You got a few. D&K Auction Service of Prudenville. Check that out.
Never heard of it.
He's on Auction Zip, but he doesn't have anything going right now. Step Up Auctions and Estate Sales of Houghton Lake. Doesn't have anything listed right now. So you got a couple. You got a couple in town.
But there's nothing.
Those two guys are your local auction houses, but there's nothing. They don't have anything established right now. There's an online one. I don't know how far you are to Waukesha, Wisconsin.
I have no clue.
There's Livonia, and I actually had a store, I opened a store in Ollie's there, so I know that's a little far away for you. That's outside of Detroit.
Yeah, that's 4 hours away.
Yeah. I see you take that money and you move.
Oh, stop it. there's not that much. Just enough to have a little fun with,
Just enough to buy some shoes and get a dinner and pick up a few items.
Yeah,
maybe
that's about it.
Maybe pick up a couple of shirts. Just saying.
What do I need shirts for?
Not for you, for the naked one.
Oh, yeah.
You're 6 hours and 31 minutes from Waukesha, Wisconsin. It's across the bay too, so you'd have to take that's with the ferry.
Yeah.
Or across the lake, I mean.
You'd have to take the train to the plane.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem with going to Michigan, is you got to go around that lake, or you got to go across on the ferry, which is very expensive.
My dogs are back there knocking on the door. It's funny.
Yeah, you know what they're saying? Hey, let us in. We need to poop.
Yeah. Fuckers. They don't usually do that, but they did that when he went over to the neighbor's house the other day, and they did it today. I was like, this is crap, literally crap, and I'm not doing it. I'm not babysitting today.
That's fair.
What?
When I let my dog outside, he likes to run around the yard, but when he goes to poop, what he does is he turns around, and I have a deck on my upstairs kitchen that goes to my sliding glass doors. So he goes out of that and he goes down to the yard. Boy, for the strangest reason, he likes to like turn around and then stare at the sliding glass door as he's pooping. So if I don't know how many times I move my curtain aside to see if he's ready to come inside, and all I see is a pooping dog staring at me. It's so like, excuse me, pooping here.
Drop the curtain, please.
It's just, I mean, it's just weird. I mean, I don't know. It's just like, it's like when you open the bathroom door and somebody's got that look on his face, like,
yeah,
in here,
like,
occupado.
oh my God. Yeah. I'm not babysitting, and it's a nice day today. It's not like they're hurting. I put water out there for them, you know, them for it.
They're fine.
You have a fenced-in area for them?
Oh, there's one this weekend. Kingsley, which is pretty close. And it's got guns on the first page. On the first picture.
That can drive the price up for everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Well, rifles. And that's normal for...
Yeah, but it's... So if you go there with a mindset of not buying gun stuff, you can also a lot of times pick up cheap household stuff, things like that, because gun buyers don't want it.
Yeah, and they want to save their money for the guns.
True.
Yeah. So you gotta, you know... I saw the...
I'm gonna give you this.
So. You gonna put it in the side chat?
I'm gonna put this in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, the sporting goods. I'm gonna look at the sporting goods just in case. Got some good guns there. Got some nothing super special though. That's gonna bring a lot of money in. I like the shaving mugs are usually pretty good. So they got some decent glassware. Stay away from anything that's not marked you can't identify.
Mm-hmm.
Don't buy the artwork. Don't buy the furniture.
I'm looking down in the special interest section where it says
right now.
Oh, he's a cute
Rider butter churn. I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
And we got some farm equipment too.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, sounds like my kind of auction.
Yeah.
Well, hay knife, flails.
Let's go, Carol. I'll come pick you up.
Well, hay knives don't do very good.
Hay knife.
Hay knives, do not buy hay knives. They don't
We
do
send them to the junkyard.
Yeah, they don't do anything. They're not worth messing with.
Well, you got things like hand crank sausage maker, crosscut saws, logging gauges, cream cans, brass oilers. You know, little things. I mean, what you're seeing though is you're seeing what he thinks is important and good to sell. That's the stuff he saw and he's going to write down on the list. He thinks that's the money, but it's the little things that you can find that he never even thought about. That's where the money's at.
Yeah, 10 years ago when people were still decorating with that rustic like hay knives and stuff, actually those did well. So he's taking pictures by memory.
Yeah, that's the problem you have when you get to your older auctioneers is they remember stuff they used to sell great 30 years ago.
Yeah, even like the Enterprise, if it's an Enterprise sausage press, I just sold one. That market went way down too. I think I got 100 or 125 free shipping, and it's a big heavy thing to ship.
Yeah, those used to be 200 easy.
Yeah, they used to do a lot better.
Picture of the brass oilers.
No, there's no. Oh, I didn't look at the pictures. But brass oilers could be good. They could be okay.
Yeah. They were real hot for a
I
little
have to go check that out.
American pickers were messing with them. And they got real hot for a little while, but then that faded out.
You can still.
But looks like a good auction to dip your toes in to see, if you like the auction scene.
We have boxes and boxes of brass oilers.
Yeah.
Because having a steam engine, you make sure you pick that stuff up when you can get it cheap.
Yeah, that's what happened was when they were on American pickers, and all of a sudden it went around and around. Oh, brass oilers! Where everybody started digging out, their old orange crates of or apple crates of oilers and putting them out on flea markets and stuff, and it just saturated the market and it tanked.
Yep. But I tell you something, this is what I do for an auction like that. That looks like it's going to go on for a while. What time does it start?
10.
10? All right, so eat some breakfast before you go. Pack a cooler with a couple of sub sandwiches for you and your husband, and about 6 bottles of water. And get there about 9 o'clock, 9:30. Start shopping around, figure out how the auction's going to go with the flow of the auction, and then just sit there and work it until you're done.
So Sally, did you just share that link with Eric or what?
What did you say?
What?
Did you just share that link with Eric?
It's in the side chat.
Yeah, it's in the side chat.
What side chat?
On the
in the show.
The group chat on the Hangout.
Oh.
She might not get that side chat.
Wait, she has to open it up is all.
No.
Oh.
Here, I'll send it, Nikki.
On the left-hand side of the screen, there's a blue button that has looks like a little piece of paper with writing on it. That's the chat button. You have to click that button.
There's what?
On the left-hand side of your screen, on the Hangout screen.
Yeah.
Take your cursor over there, and there's a little blue. It'll pop out, and there's a little blue one at the very top that says chat.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Okay.
I put it in the Facebook chat, the group chat.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I like the name of this place,
Yeah,
Radio of Hope Farms.
Oh, my Grandma Magic.
Now I got to figure out how to get back to the call. I'm still in here, but
Jesus, Nikki.
Poor Nikki.
I know. If I would have just bought a computer instead of my tablet, no. I don't have very good internet, though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I see a piece of paper here. Let's see. No, that was pictures.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, it just depends on how everything goes.
Yeah.
I mean.
Don't cause any trouble.
I know I got a couple of bills to pay, so.
Well, but set aside some money, and if you just take $50 and just say, okay, here's my $50 budget.
Yeah.
And this is what I would say is take that $50, spend your $50. Don't forget about buyer's premium and taxes, and put that $50 into your business. Now, every dime that you get back from that $50, you have to roll into purchased merchandise. You're not allowed to use that money for bill money yet. And then you take that money, everything you make off of those items you sell, you put that into like a little auction fund. And so the next time when you sell those items, the next time you go to auction, you take that money and go and reinvest it. If you keep rolling it and never touching it, you're going to have a $400 or $500 fund, and then you can start bringing money out for yourself while still maintaining the purchasing fund.
Yeah.
I keep $400 or $500 in PayPal all the time. A, for returns, and also so I can go out and buy stuff when I feel like it or I need to.
I used to start out with a $20 auction fund. That's what when I started my business. I've always done auctions, but started my business. I started out with a $20 auction fund. Now I have a $2,000 auction fund.
Whew.
I don't spend $2,000, but I have $2,000 available at all times if I need to spend some at auction.
Right. That's good.
Oh.
I mean, and that's how you build your business.
Slow but sure, build it up. Because I'm not bragging, it's just you slowly but surely just build it up and build it up, you know.
Oh yeah.
And then you'll have more to spend. I mean,
yeah, it's really once you get that $300, $400, $500 fund, it's really easy to maintain it because you're buying much better quality stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you're flipping it faster, and that money goes back into your account, and you're actually starting to pull money out to pay your bills.
Yeah.
You know, I pay, you know, when all gas for my vehicle. If I go out to eat, you know, I pay the occasional bill out of my PayPal account. You know, just right there. I mean, I have my other account that has my other money in it, and you know, I pay my household bills out of that. But every now and then, I'll take 3 or 4 bills and put them on my PayPal. I mean, I've got probably 75% of my bills paid for August already, and it's all been done through PayPal. You know, some of them I haven't even run into August yet, so I won't start paying them until then.
Yeah, unless we do a Craigslist or something, we're 100% eBay. It pays for everything: the roof over the head, the car, everything, insurance, utilities, everything.
If
Dinner,
yeah,
horse feed, veterinary bills, everything.
No, I've got a little Social Security income that comes and helps pay the rest of my bills, but
yeah. Well, I mean, and there's if you got another source of income, that's great. But I mean, you can do it. I mean, if you hammer it hard enough, you can do it. We pay our auction.
Yeah, if I had to, if I, you know, I'll lose that when Luke turns 18, obviously, because it's a death benefit for his mom. But I can live on my eBay money.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, because I'm a slow lister. I mean, I'll buy 20 things and I'll put 5 of them up, and I'll make my money back, and the other 15 will sit there for a while. But if I said, oh my God, I got to pay all my bills every month with eBay only, I could do it easily.
Yeah, well, yeah, because nothing like owing money will make you a turbo lister.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
If you want to really know how you list a lot, you put the fire under your ass, you'll list a lot.
And that's why I hate to say it, and I don't want to get political, but that's why capitalism works. It puts the fire in you because you'll do your. No one does their best when they're comfortable and happy. Not that there's anything wrong with being comfortable and happy. That's wonderful. But you're not going to put a man on the moon or build great buildings and stuff like that. Like, you got to have that fire. Well, you got to have that fire in your belly, and that to acquire.
From 2012 to 2014, I didn't really have to. I didn't work. You know, I didn't do eBay. I was actually cleaning out and selling a lot of things through a live auction just because I wanted space. I was cleaning out stuff I'd moved up with. So that's the only income I really had coming in. I was a home inspector, and I wasn't getting a whole lot of work as well. So I'd get an occasional job. It had to be like $200, maybe once every couple of months. I really wasn't working it that hard either.
Yeah, that's saturated with too many home inspectors.
Yeah. And so, and I really should have continued on with because I'm more commercial because I've done commercial buildings for years, but I never really went down that route because that's a lot more risk involved with that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And so, I really had no reason to. And then I thought, you know what, I want to start improving my life. So I started selling on eBay again, and it was part-time. And then now I'm like, you know what, I can make a living doing this. I'm just going to keep doing this. And so I'm getting to that point where I really don't need that Social Security money. And so that's what I'm trying to get to, that point where I can actually take that money and just put it away. Save $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
And everything else is paid for by eBay. But at then I didn't have a car payment. I have a car payment now. I have a few credit card bills, but nothing major. I mean, I owe less than $2,000 on all my credit cards. So,
we don't have car payments. We don't have credit card bills, really.
I have a small mortgage.
Yeah, I don't have a mortgage. So.
You do have to, if you're going to live, in my opinion, if you're going to be 100% eBay, you do need to really cut back on your monthly obligations because you never know when you're going to have a bad month.
Yep.
You can do everything right and have a bad month.
I can live on $1,100 a month.
Yeah.
I have a nephew. All their money is spent right to the penny. And I'm like, that is such a bad way to live because if either one of you get hurt or sick, God forbid, what is going to happen to you? You're going to lose everything. You know. Well, we got a raise, so now we're gonna get this payment, and it's like, we can buy a camper now and take on a payment. It's like, oh my God, you know, save up.
When we get sick, I mean, I can tell you, I've been sick where it would be if I had a 9 to 5, I would definitely call in sick. I mean, I'm sick as a dog. I'll get up and I'll drag myself in front of the computer because it's like, hey, bills don't stop because you're sick. You just work through it. Work healthy, work sick, no difference. You know, you just gotta do it.
Yeah, the only reason
right now,
credit cards and a car payment, and I got a very small. I got a 3-year loan on a car. I only paid $8,000 for it. On my truck, and because I wanted to buy a truck because I needed a little bit bigger vehicle for sourcing, but I had no credit because I had no bills. When you don't have a house payment and you don't have credit cards and you don't have a car payment, you have zero credit.
Yeah, your credit rating is crap. Yeah, it's bad.
I was looking at a 550 or something like that because I had nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, what do I need credit for? I don't use it. But now I'm like, okay, I'll go out, I'll get a few credit cards, and I'll get a car payment, and I still have a house payment, and my credit suffers because I don't pay a house payment. And I get that because I monitor my credit, and it's like, you don't show any real estate information. Your credit would increase by this much if you showed real estate information. I'm like, yeah, but it's paid for. You can't show what you're not paying for. So, so you got to kind of, I'm not always going to not have a house payment. I mean, I may end up buying a different house down the road, and use this as a down payment or something. I don't know, but depends on where I would move to. But you got to think about stuff like that and plan for the future a little bit, even if it sucks, because I hate getting credit. But kind of is what it is. Well, my computer and my boxes are coming in today.
Yeah, I don't have credit cards. I have one credit card for emergencies, of course, and that has a low balance. So yeah, I don't use credit. The only thing I'm in debt for is my house, and that's just about paid off. I could pay it off right now, but I've gotten into that before and just a bitch, so I'm not gonna. But yeah, you gotta live. You can't live above your means, especially if you're self-employed, because you never know when the bottom might fall out.
Oh, yeah. That ain't no lie.
And you're gonna have a bad week. It's like, oh my God, this week on eBay has been horrible, or this month on eBay has not been very good, or whatever. You have to be able to weather through that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you don't have a lot of obligations, you can usually ride it out.
Well, and that's another reason why I like having that fund, for that auction fund, because if nothing else, I could always pay my bills off of that if I absolutely had to, But right now, my husband makes enough to just pay our bills. But if we want to do anything, that's where I come in. But now he wants to quit his job this year, so then I'm really gonna have to. I'm really gonna have to really step up my game.
Oh boy, you're gonna have to start listing now, Nikki.
I am.
God, you're not gonna be able to not list.
And I really should start listing. So, because he made it so that I could go full time. So I should really up my game now so that he can go full time faster.
And he's gonna what's gonna be his specialty? Are you guys gonna have separate things? Are you gonna work together, or?
Well, I really don't want him involved in my stuff, but
I understand.
But he's gonna do his own thing, probably.
That's good.
I'm most likely gonna be doing all the listing, and he'll probably be doing all the shipping.
Right.
I don't want him touching my listings.
Well, it'd be just like me and Jim.
Yeah.
I think that's a great setup.
I might let him take pictures or whatever, but yeah, he'll pretty much do the shipping, and of course, he's my guy. When I'm buying stuff at auctions, here's the number, he's right there grabbing it from me.
Yeah.
But he'll have a little more say in what we're buying and stuff. He's got his things that he buys, and it shouldn't change too much, other than he's going to be home all the time. And he'll be doing my shipping.
That'll help.
Because that's the one thing I hate doing. I mean, I don't mind doing it because it means I'm selling, but it's unless it's something that just throws in a poly mailer, it's such a pain in the ass to ship sometimes. Something. And it's like, God, I just wish I had somebody to ship for me. And yeah, so that'll be nice to have him shipping.
If I didn't have Jim to ship the big stuff we ship, I wouldn't sell that stuff because I wouldn't want to.
Well, that's a lot of times when I buy some of that big stuff, I look at him and it's like, are you willing to ship this? You know? Do you mind building some crates? You know? But he's almost anal about crates. I think his crates are a little too elaborate. That's why I was asking you guys how much your crates weigh. Because I was wondering if his crates were just too elaborate.
Yeah.
He is about the same as yours guys do. So
did you see that crate video?
Yeah,
Nikki.
His are actually way more elaborate than that.
Yeah, I mean, because those make it. I've never had one of those crates not make it. So really, I mean, if you go much beyond that, except for like a deer head, I'll put some struts across to hold the neck and the head. I'll do struts wrapped in bubble wrap to fix the deer head in position. That's about as elaborate as it ever gets. Or if it's like an engine, I'll actually bolt it to the bottom. I'll use thicker wood on the bottom and actually bolt the engine to the bottom, you know, so it stays in place inside the crate. But other than that, I don't do like cross members or any stuff like that.
He's a woodworker, so he's a little more detailed than.
Yeah.
Jim is not a woodworker.
Nope. I couldn't cut a straight line in save life.
He's.
Only thing I can cut a straight line is a chop saw.
He does machining. He does fabricating. He does woodworking and all that. So he's very particular about how he does things, you know. And sometimes it's like, God, just get that crate done. Let's go, you know. Yeah. And he's like, just cool it. You want it to make it there or not, you know? But he's made it there, so I can't complain.
You can complain a little bit, Nikki. Go ahead.
I know, it just drives me nuts. I'm like, let's get this going. Go, 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 you know. I still have that FedEx mentality. Go, 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 go. I've always been that way because I've always, you know, being a mom and being a wife and working where I used to work a couple jobs, and you just had to hurry up and get stuff done because otherwise you just didn't have enough hours in the day to get stuff done, you know?
Yeah.
Well, since I hurt my knee, I've been a little more lax, but still I like things done. Go, 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 let's go, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and you're not building a piece of furniture to be adored. Yeah. As soon as they get it, they're going to take a pry bar and bust it to a million pieces. So, I mean, understand it's temporary.
Exactly.
It's like, like electronics. You know, when in the old days, you bought an electronics item and it lasted 20 years, and your family used it and stuff. Nowadays, the electronic device, anything you have that's electronic that's over 5 years old, either nobody's using it or, you know, it's been thrown away, you know, because it's so obsolete.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Even refrigerators, like we have like a regular refrigerator that doesn't have the ice maker and the television inside and stuff. It's like, it's obsolete.
Yeah. Yeah, his
I can't wait to.
Usually,
go ahead.
His crates are usually, I mean, of course, depending on what we're shipping, but generally it's about 15 extra.
Are you going to use this much for gas?
Yeah.
Do we ever actually use them straight?
We don't usually ever. We don't go to Holland.
We never. I don't know if you guys have Menards. It's a lumber place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know those rebates? We throw them away because I never send in for that damn thing. You get that card, so you get whatever in-store discount or whatever.
Yeah.
I just send the damn thing in. And I just gave up. I'm like, I know I'm never going to send this in. It's stupid for me to save it. I'm just going to throw it away right now. I'm throwing away money, and I don't care.
I send them all in. I save them up. I save them. I usually like to save them up for Black Friday, and that's my Black Friday shopping at Menards.
Oh, okay. Oh, once you send them in, yeah. Because that's what'll happen is I'll find the damn receipt, and I'm like 2 days past the deadline to send it in.
Yeah. No, I'm very adamant about that. You know, we have my brother's, before he passed away, he had a girlfriend, and and her brother has a building construction company. All of his rebates that he saved up in 1 year were $40,000.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Wow.
And he was able to like gut his house and practically rebuild his house just on his Menards rebates.
Yeah, I should.
Because that's his business, you know. But
we could definitely do with a house gutting.
Sally, you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm still looking at auctions.
Usually when my husband wants to go buy something at Menards, I'll be like, well, can you wait like a week? Because 11% will come back on, you know?
I buy that foam that I use for packing. Those sheets of, and that's always a big plus when I walk up and I'm like, oh, you know, they have it actually regular sale, you know, not the rebate sale, but regular sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's $1.50 a sheet, and I'm going to buy 10 sheets. That's $15.
Yeah. I bought some of that foam. I told my husband, I said, Jim and Tara said this stuff works really good for shipping, so I bought some of that.
Yeah, and you can do a lot of boxes.
We use it. I mean, we use it on things that go first class. We'll cut the piece of small. Like, let's say I'm shipping this like this tape measure. I can put that on a piece of foam inside the box. I shrink wrap it to the piece of foam, drop it in the box, and that's all the packing I need. I don't have to use any bubble wrap.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love that stuff. Yeah, like even a piece this thin, I'll still use it. You know, for first class stuff.
Yep.
It don't weigh nothing. Don't add no weight to the shipment. That's awesome.
Yeah,
When I shipped out that laminator, I used that foam inside the box.
Yeah, see, and I'm a big like Jim. I love shrink wrap.
I do too.
I
use a lot of shrink wrap.
Yeah, I don't use tape on the inside of my boxes at all.
No. We'll take that item, we'll put it in the center of the foam, and then we're going to shrink wrap it to the foam, and it keeps it centered in the box. And then we pack, we put our other whatever. If we need more packing material around it, that's what we do.
I get the shrink wrap from my husband because they at his company there's almost half a roll when they take the roll off the shrink wrapping machine.
Oh yeah.
And he always brings the end rolls home for me, and I've always got shrink. I love shrink wrap. Kitchen, I hate saran wrap.
I know, I do too.
I don't use saran wrap either.
I won't use saran wrap, but I love shrink wrap.
Yeah.
I use tinfoil in the kitchen.
Too. We have dinner every Sunday night at my dad's house, and he only uses saran wrap. And I keep bringing aluminum foil over there. I'm like, God dang it, Dad, buy some damn aluminum foil. It's not that expensive. Keep bringing aluminum foil. Because if I use saran wrap, I'll like wrap the plate all the way around with it because I can't get the shit to stick. I hate saran wrap.
I usually just get it all tangled up and end up throwing it away anyway.
Yeah, I think he just doesn't buy aluminum foil just to hear me complain. I think
that might be true.
I think he laughs inside because that saran wrap irks me so bad. I get pissed off every time I got to use it.
No, and Nikki, the saran wrap will not protect you from the aliens.
No. I should tell him that. He'll think I've gone loony.
Gotta make a better foil hat.
You think you really lost it then.
I think he secretly laughs at me. That's why he doesn't buy it.
Oh, the other Jason said Val cleans her clothes way better than I do. I just steam them.
Yeah, I don't think I've got a steamer. I don't think I've ever set it up and used it.
Oh my God, I can't. And I bought when my other one broke. I went to Walmart and they didn't have the one that I use, which is the Shark. And I got another one and I hated it. So I took it back. I was like, no, this is not going to work for me. So
I actually have a part of that Shark, the same thing. I have the bottom part.
Oh, do you?
The motor part.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I do.
You need to send that to me. You do. I'll buy it from you.
All right. All right. Yeah. And I mean, it doesn't have the top part, so I can't even do anything with it. So
that's fine
I'll
because
just
I've
give it
got
to
the
you.
top part. I
Okay.
got the top part, so we'll just piece it together and yeah, most definitely.
All right.
Yeah, I'll only buy the shark, which is this thing right here. That's the best one that I found, and I didn't even think that I would like that, but oh my gosh, so much better.
Now remember, sorry. Remember this auction, Sally. It has a 6% sales tax on everything.
Is she even in there? Yeah. Sally? Oh, she doesn't have her earphones on. Nikki said, remember that all your auction sales have 6% sales tax.
Okay.
This auction that you sent over.
Not all of them do.
6%
Sales tax.
What?
Yeah.
They don't charge sales tax if they're not on. If they're on, like out here, if they're on site, they don't charge sales tax.
But what about your buyer's premium?
I didn't see anything about the buyer's premium.
I've been to auctions that don't charge a buyer's premium.
Okay.
None of our auctions up here sell at buyer's premium.
Most of them.
And the only time we do taxes is if it's at a business.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them say that if you're paying cash, that they don't have a buyer's premium.
Right.
Yeah. So when I do go to an auction that has a buyer's premium, I'm just pissed when I get to the cashier. I'm like, son of a bitch, this has a buyer's premium.
Yeah, this last one that I sent over to the chat, it looks really good actually. And I'd actually like Jason to look at it because it's not until August, I believe.
August 5th,
and so I have a little bit of time. There's a lot of gun stuff, but there's also some
I'll look when
farm equipment and stuff like that, and there's also some machinist tooling.
I'll check it out when I'm done shipping. I got like 15 more packages.
Okay, no hurry.
Okie dokie.
Thank you.
Hurry up, Jason. Light a fire.
Looks like there's a box of
Yeah, and Nikki,
what do you call those?
If you see anything in the trailer, farm equipment, stuff that you think I should focus on. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what I'm looking for, really.
Well, I just see these
Stuff
things
like
that my husband always buys, and they usually go really good at auctions. Usually get them at a good price. I'm trying to think what the hell the names of them are now. Oh my god, I know any other time.
The only thing is I don't want to have like a tough time shipping stuff. So if it's, the smaller, the better for me. If it's something that I can take and put into parts, then that would work for me. Stuff like that. I mean, I could buy a whole damn tractor and take it into parts and I'd be good.
I like
the art. I can't think of what those things are called. I can't think of what the name of them are.
I have a steamer that I use sometimes. It's kind of weird because it's a baby steamer. And I mean, you don't use it on babies. It's little.
I'm gonna go steam my baby.
Yeah. Don't steam your baby because, my husband has never used a steamer before in his life. And so we got this baby steamer, and he he put water in it, and he's like, oh, look. And he goes like this on my shirt that I'm wearing.
Oh my gosh. That's not good.
Baby steamer. Love it.
Oh my
Ooh,
God, you still have a scar?
Ouch.
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, he branded you.
You got
Yeah,
steam.
I did.
You got steam.
I got steamed. I was a steamy baby that day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that burns a little bit. And
A little bit.
Yeah, that burns a little bit.
yeah, and the next day he's like, oh, did that burn you? And I'm like, uh-huh. Yeah, it burnt me. And it was, blistered, but I didn't touch it. And I think I put aloe or something on it. But it still scarred me that way. It's not, this has been like 2 months ago, 3 months
Yeah,
ago.
it's been a while.
Yeah, and so it'll be there for my life. I look like I have a damn barcode on my arm.
Yeah, that steam is not, it's not anything you want to mess with. It's hot.
Yeah, and like you only put like this much water in it in mine, and it runs out quick. But if
Yeah.
if you barely tilt mine forward or backwards, it spurts out water, hot steaming water at at whatever you're pointing it at. So I have to be really careful that I just make sure that I have it straight up and down, or else it's going to be spurting like a demonic lady spewing green soup.
Was this The Exorcist?
Yeah, that lady.
Regan. Her real name is Linda Blair, but the character's name was Regan.
Yeah, right. Mr. Sadie said, I thought you got drunk, got a bad tattoo. Just tell people it used to say mother or mom.
Hey, Jason.
Cash says the fuck.
This is my old computer.
Ready.
Look how small it is. So.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. That's the tower.
That's a modem. What are you?
My old computer. That's what I've been doing eBay on.
That's a modem.
It's about the size of a modem, yeah.
Yeah, it's about the size of my modem. I know that.
Parts and everything.
Cool.
So it's just slow. Now I gotta. Hopefully, I have a much better one here. So
that's awesome.
I'll just take that one upstairs and hook it to my TV and use it for a Cody box.
Yeah, I saw it. Oh. Yeah.
Man, look at him go. He's lighting a fire.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do I have to? I didn't mute. Sorry.
Taps. That's what I was trying to remember what the hell they were called. Taps. There's a lot of taps at this auction. Looks like.
I like the Articat sign.
I sent the picture to my husband. He's like, "Oh man, where'd you get those? All those?" And I was like, "I didn't." He goes, "Are you fibbing?" I said, "No, it's a friend of mine's picture. Would you just tell me what the hell they're called?"
Tap and dies, yeah.
Yeah. I was, for some reason, I know what they are, but for some reason I was just drawing a blank on what they were called at first, and I know I have to buy them every time I see them because my husband wants them, but I just need another Sally. Hey.
Eric, can you keep it down? I'm trying to ship here.
Yeah, no.
I'm moving faster than a steaming baby right now.
I'm doing a computer upgrade.
Hey, Eric, should I just toss this pedal thing?
What is it again? You have one?
Yeah, and it's not marked.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it then.
It feels kind of cheap. Okay.
All right, guys, I think we're going to shut it down for the day.
Okay.
Hope everybody has a great day and get some listing done, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.